Welcome to From the Honeycomb podcast, where entrepreneurship meets creativity, intention, and mindfulness. Each episode blends honest conversation, business insight, and a unique perspective designed to spark confidence, inspiration, and a more thoughtful approach to building a business. If you're an entrepreneur, a creative professional, or someone looking to build something that truly matters, you've come to the right place. So settle in, take a deep breath, and let the buzz of positive energy spark your curiosity. Today, I am joined by Jayven Colon, a salsa and bachata dancer and the founder of Alliance Dance Academy, an organization created by and for the LGBTQIA2S+ community members who share a passion for movement, joy, and self-expression. Jayven is dedicated to pushing beyond binary norms in social dancing while cultivating spaces rooted in authenticity and long-lasting community. Much of his work, or his early work, focused on increasing access to dance in low-income communities, and with almost a decade of experience in public education, Jayven has taught social dance and choreography across a wide range of settings, from non-for-profit organizations like AWA+D, public schools, colleges, and adult programs. Jayven brings an infectious enthusiasm to teaching, inviting dancers of all backgrounds to discover how movement can be empowering, healing, and deeply connective. Jayven, welcome to From the Honeycomb podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you because we've met through AWA+D. You've taught 3 years in a row now, salsa dancing for us. And then I also want to say congratulations to you and your team. Last week I think it was a dance competition in New Jersey, you guys literally swept the floor, came home with, I don't know how many first, second, third place trophies. So congratulations on your guys' achievement.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was actually my first time competing as a competitor and participating. Oh, wow. I've seen it a few times. I've never considered myself a competitor by heart. I'm more passionate about the dance and theatrical aspects of what that comes through dance. But it was definitely a different experience. And I grew a totally different appreciation for those folks who go out there and do this at a competitive level, you know?
Yeah, that's amazing to hear. And that's amazing. I think too, like once you do something too, even now when you're teaching anyone who's competing, you've been in their shoes. Literally I've been in their shoes. So You now know what the experience is like and just how that is. So I'm sure that has also strengthened you as a dancer, but as a teacher as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes, undoubtedly. Yes.
Yeah. Good. Well, as you know, we begin every episode by sharing something that we are grateful for in the present moment. So what are you grateful for?
I would have to say my community, my partnership, and just my family. Honestly, all the people around me that are super supportive, always bring me up when I need to be brought up. Those who support me endlessly and carelessly. And there's nothing like it. You know, I feel like one's success is really based off of the people who are around them. So I think the people around me are really good people. And I think that's a reflection of like who I am as a person too, you know? So a lot of appreciation and super grateful for all of that. You know, there's nothing, you can't replace that for anything in the world. You know?
You can't. And community is so important, especially, you know, in today's climate and everything going on. When you have good people around you, I think it makes things feel a little bit better because, you know, people have got your back. And then especially not only just in like your day-to-day life, but business-wise too. And we'll get into, you know, having a business, but I think community is really huge. So I'm really happy for you in that sense. You've built a really great support network too.
Thank you. Yes.
Hi, it's me, Katerina. Before we jump into today's episode, I want to share with you something that can change the trajectory of your life. If you are ready to start your own architecture firm, but are feeling overwhelmed by where to begin, I understand. Because I felt the same way when I first embarked on my entrepreneurial journey. This is why I have created the ebook, The Mindful Blueprint for Launching Your Architecture Firm. This comprehensive workbook contains everything I wish I had known before starting my own firm. From building a solid business plan to creating your brand, The Mindful Blueprint for Launching Your Architecture Firm offers a step-by-step guide tailored to your timeline, whether you're launching your firm today, next month, or in a few years. Dive into essential topics like financial planning, organization strategies, and how to secure your first client, all in one convenient resource. That's right, you don't have to spend hours researching. I have done that for you so you can focus on building your business. And that's not all. With your purchase, you'll also receive an exclusive meditation for business owners, mindfulness tips, a crystal guide for support, and gratitude exercises to help you stay focused and positive throughout your journey. Turn your dream of having your own firm into a reality with the Mindful Blueprint for launching your architecture firm. Click on the link in the show notes to get your copy today. Now, let's dive into the episode. And so tell us, Jayven, about your dance experience. When did you start dancing? Did you always want to be a dancer?
You know what? I fell into it accidentally.
Really?
I literally tripped into it.
Nice.
So I started dancing in high school just for fun. I was in high school, it was my freshman year of high school. I was my first year doing theater. So that was something very new for me. And I had always listened to like salsa and bachata music at home. My mom's Puerto Rican and my dad is Salvadorian. So there was a lot of that music going on at home as well as like family parties. So I always had an interest in it and I loved hearing the music. We dance, so there's always different forms in which something is danced, So I call it like street salsa or like unofficial, unprofessional salsa, where you're kind of like backyard dancing with your family and friends. So I used to do that with like my tias and my tios. But it wasn't until high school where I discovered the other realm of salsa that exists, which is the social dancing aspect of it. And I remember when I saw my first video of someone social dancing, I was like, that's cool. I was like, that's really cool. I want to learn how to do that. And that's kind of where it sparked. That's where it started. It was kind of like a YouTube video that my Spanish teacher showed me because she was a salsa dancer. My Spanish teacher at the time, freshman year, right? She showed me a video of her salsa dancing. And I was like, that's really cool. And I really want to learn how to do that. So honestly, what now is my career was literally just a spark of interest as a hobby originally.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Just one video. And so what did it look like then throughout high school and into your like early 20s? Did you continue dancing? Did you go to school?
Yeah, so my focus in high school and in college was in theater. I actually majored in theater.
Oh, wow. Nice.
I kind of thought that's what I would be doing now.
Yeah.
I thought I would be working and acting. But yeah, I did theater in high school. And then I started like a Latin dance club in my high school because there wasn't really a lot of Latin dance thing going on. So I was like, well, I can get a group of my friends. I can learn some moves on YouTube and then I can just teach them during lunchtime. And that's exactly what I did. Like during lunchtime in high school, I think it was like every Wednesday, we would meet and I would teach them moves that I would learn on YouTube on my own.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
At the time, obviously, high school, you don't have a lot of fun. So I wasn't taking any ballroom classes or going to like professional studios. It was just me and YouTube and my friends and having fun,
Nice.
It wasn't until my freshman year of college where I took my first official like salsa class at SMC. There's a professor there. Her name is Laura Canelias. She is like the queen of LA salsa, one of the pioneers for LA style salsa. And I took her college course in Santa Monica. That's where I kind of started learning more about the art as well as like the technique behind it. And that really pushed me to be like, hey, maybe I should start going to like a dance studio and like learning this the right way, not just like basing it off of videos that I watch. So and that's when I joined her at By Your Side Dance Studio in Culver City. And then I was there. I started, doing salsa, but it was a ballroom studio. So I had the chance to kind of explore other styles of dance as well. Still with the idea in my head that I was going to be in theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was there for about 3 years.
Okay.
And then on my third year, I was going through like a teacher training program with By Your Side Dance Studio. They were teaching me how to teach dance. But, life has its pivots, So I got accepted to UC Santa Barbara and I had to make a choice. It was either continue with this teacher training as a dancer or go for my dream as an actor. And of course, the young version of me is like, well, I got to go for my dream,
Yeah.
You only live once. I can't, what if I doubt myself, So I left to UCSB with the idea of pursuing theater again, full time. I did that. And then literally within a week, I found a gig as a dance teacher.
Oh my gosh.
Santa Barbara.
Wow. It was meant to be. It was meant to be.
There was no avoiding it. There was literally no avoiding it. It just kept coming back.
Oh, I
It
love
just kept
that.
coming back. I remember my first week there, I was like, well, I'm here now. I don't want to stop dancing, even though I'm going to focus in theater. I don't want to stop dancing. And I took a salsa class just for fun. The owner of the studio spotted me. They were like, you're a really good dancer. You're super talented. You look like you've been teaching. Would you like a job here? And
Mhm.
I'm like, well, I need a job to cover the expenses of living out here. So why not do it? And
Yeah.
that's kind of where I got my first official studio teaching job as
Wow.
like a dance teacher.
Interesting,
Yeah.
interesting. Well, that's amazing. And so, how long did you continue still pursuing your dream of being an actor, or did just dancing just keep kind of coming into your
Yeah.
path?
It kept like coming in, it kept like
Mhm.
not taking me off my path because, in that period in time, I was really focused on theater and that's what I was studying. So a majority of my time was in theater. And then like a portion of that time was dance related.
Mhm.
I think one thing that for sure really created a pivot was like when I saw what was coming in financially with my dance career, I guess you can say. I was like, well, this is like paying the bills. It makes me really happy. And I'm getting better as I go. And I feel like theater was a little bit, it seemed like that was too far away still. And there's a lot of things in theater that could be really healthy and really not healthy in anything, right?
Right.
So I
Definitely.
think I just found myself in some really unhealthy situations at
Mhm.
times, which really kind of made me take a step back in reconsidering like my relationship in theater and what I wanted to do with it. I think I was in a lot of place of doubt as far as like, am I an actor? Am I a director? Am I a writer? Who am I in this genre and in this field? Rather than with dancing, I never questioned that. It was almost
Mm.
like, no, you're kind of meant to teach this. Like
Mhm.
you have the capacities, the capabilities. I also minored in education because I wanted to work in education as well. So
That's right.
like instruction and education was always kind of like around. I knew
Mhm.
from like even like very young I wanted to be a teacher. I just don't think I knew what kind of teacher I wanted to be, you know?
Mm. Mhm.
Because even playing pretend with like my cousins, it was like, let's play school. You know what I mean? I'll be the teacher,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
So it was there, there
Mhm.
wasn't denying it. It was just figuring out how I was going to do it and use it in my life.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
absolutely. And it's amazing to hear that it like dance just kept showing up and it's like you couldn't even help it. And then even like the teaching aspect, like even from when you started, you said like every Wednesday I would have my friends and I would teach them like you always had that in you. And so it's amazing to see that you had the teacher, you had the dance. So then my next question is, did you always know you wanted to have your own business?
No.
Okay,
No.
that's a
That I
different one.
figured out. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, after a while of like being like, man, I really don't like people telling me what to do. Then I
Yeah.
realized I was like, I can't have a boss.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I think part of having a business and being a business owner is the type of leadership that you want to have for
Mhm.
folks. And I've had a lot of really good leaders in my lifetime. I've also had really bad leadership,
Yeah.
as well as instructors. I think
Mhm.
those go hand in hand. Those who are, running something, organizing something, but in addition, instructing.
Mhm.
Like I've had really good ones where I'm like, wow, I want to take what you have that's good and learn how to do it and replicate it of my own. And then I've had some really bad ones where I'm like, I'm never doing
Yes.
that. And
Yeah.
I never want to deal with it again.
No, it's definitely
Um,
it's very true. Even the ones you don't, you learn what you don't wanna do. And I think that's important for anyone who's listening and it's like, "Well, yeah, I have a really bad boss, teacher, something right now." Well, good, you're learning, you know what the good and the bad are, so then you know what not to do. So I think you're right. It is good to have both, versions of however you're taught or whoever is working with you because then you know what you don't want and what you do like.
right. I could tell you for sure, though, never in a million years, if you go back to me in college or in high school and ask me, like, or tell me even, like, hey, in a
Mhm.
few years, you're going to have your own dance company, I'm going to be like, what are you talking about? Like, no way.
Yeah.
Like, that's not me. What are you talking about? Never
Yeah.
would I have imagined being in this position that I
That's
am right now.
amazing.
And I don't regret it. I'm super thankful for it, you
Oh,
know?
well, I'm so happy for you in that. And so, share with us, was there a moment that you ended up deciding, or did something happen, or were you just like, one day I'm like, that's it, I'm going off on my own?
It's been the same theme throughout the entirety of my experience. It's
Mm.
been almost forced upon me. Like, I don't know, I don't know how to describe it, you know?
Yeah.
To keep a long story short, my last job was with Long Beach City College. And nothing against the college, nothing against the staff there,
Mm.
but me personally, emotionally, I was just miserable. I just wasn't happy doing it for multiple reasons. Don't need to get into details about
Right.
it. And at the same time as I was miserable doing what I was doing, my dance career was just taking off in
Mm.
so many different in so many different ways. Like people wanted private lessons, people wanted special events. I was teaching more classes. I had enough students to start offering more classes. It was just growing extremely fast, you know,
Mhm.
where it got to a point where I think on a weekly basis, I was at least working 60 hours
Wow.
a week trying to manage like I did LBCC. I did it
Mhm.
kind of like partially almost full time. And then I was like, and then dance like part time, right?
Mhm.
And then dance started growing. And then it was like full time, full time. And I was like, I can't do that. I have to cut
Yeah.
something. I was like, well, what makes me more happy? Dance. So let me cut my hours at this job. So I went part time college and then full time dance. And then those amount of hours that I cut that I thought I would be like, okay, cool,
Mm.
I can breathe.
Yeah.
I added more dance. So I was like, oh my
Nice.
God, this isn't helping. I was like, I need to officially let something go. I can't continue to do this.
Yeah.
What am I going to let go? Is it the thing that I just find zero joy in, or is it the
Mhm.
thing that fulfills me on a daily basis? I
Mhm.
said, I have a pretty good savings. I've been working really hard. What's the worst that can happen? They say you have, what is it, 6 months to know whether your business is in the green or in the red, right?
Kind of, yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
something like
Something
that.
like that. Yeah, it probably depends on the business, but yeah, you know early on if you're like, this is just not it. Yeah.
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 So I told myself 6 months. And
Yeah.
if in any of those months I can't pay my bills, then we got to go find a job. But in those 6 months, I made double than what I would have made just working at the college.
Wow.
I never went 1 month in the red. There was never a moment where I was unable to pay my bills,
Mhm.
where it wasn't a success, you know?
Yeah.
And then that was my test period of those 6 months. I remember it was from like June to December.
Oh,
And
wow.
then
G
January, not sorry, not this last one, but
No,
like
no, no, I
that was
know,
like
but
from
still,
10 to,
but
yeah.
sometimes as a business owner, you have to look at the time of the year too, because even in that part, you're accounting for holidays, you're accounting for
Yeah.
summer school, school, when is school
I,
session, all those things. So that's a great time of the year that you went off on your own then.
yeah, I went from June to December and then I said, this is working. It's
Mhm.
working. I'm like, let's make it official. And then that's when I started all of the processes of making it like a legitimate, getting the fictitious name, the business
Mhm.
ID, all those other administrative parts of starting a business to make
Mhm.
it real, to make it official, to
Yeah.
make it a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I haven't had a moment where I've been doubtful of its success since then. And we're going on, I think we just met our 3-year anniversary in April.
Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
Well, that's amazing. And how incredible, because one of my questions too is, did you ever take a business class?
I took,
Because most business owners I talk to are like, no, I've never taken a business class, like myself included.
I took one at UCSB and I hated it. I
Did you
hated it.
really?
I hated every moment of it.
Oh my
I hated
gosh.
it from the moment that I sat in that seat. I said, why am I
Oh,
doing this? I was
so,
like, why am I here?
oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
no, I
That's so
hated it. I
funny.
even think I dropped the class. I don't even think I finished it.
Oh my
I
gosh.
think I think I went like 2 weeks in and I was like, you know what? This is not for me. I can't do this. I'm out. Quit.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of goes to show sometimes you just don't need that business class. Like sometimes you just kind of figure it out and you have that sense of, I think, good leadership in a boss and an entrepreneur. And you already have that. You had that from your teaching, from your dance. And I think that makes a really good entrepreneur is leadership, hard work. You are such a hard worker. And, it takes to be an entrepreneur, it takes a lot of time, energy, focus. But then you see the rewards. Not only are you happy, you're fulfilled, you don't have a boss, but then the abundance that comes in financially. is incredible. Like you just said, you made so much more, and I'm sure you were much happier. You had control of your own schedule. You can't change that for anything in the world.
Mm-mm. It's irreplaceable. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's some rough moments and there's moments
Yeah.
of doubt and struggle, right? It's not
Hmm.
easy,
Hmm.
especially when I'm hoping, right? Because I still feel like I'm early on into my experience, but I'm hoping there's a point where all of this administrative work and this preparation and this establishment, right? Like creating,
Hmm.
making it established, making there some type of flow that is understandable and you account every part of it, everything's
Hmm.
accounted for. I hope there's a moment where that kind of slows down and then I can really, really focus on the craft, which is
Hmm.
dancing, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't really talked to other dance owners, which maybe it's a good question to ask. Like, in 5 years from now, does it get easier?
Yeah.
Or,
Having a mentor.
because, yeah, I told myself, especially this year, because I've noticed for the last 2, 3 years, it was like I was doing more admin stuff than actually dancing.
Which
And
is hard.
and even when I was dancing, I was so tired from all the other things that I have to be doing that it makes even dancing not that much enjoyable as it used
Hmm.
to be, or teaching.
Yeah.
I still love it though. It still fuels my soul, but I'm like hoping that when all of this is said and done and things are like in their placement, you
Hmm.
know, that I can really just like tune in and just focus on the craft itself.
No,
Yeah.
it's definitely a theme I've noticed as much as I talk to so many business owners who took their passion and turned it into a business is you're wearing all these hats. You had your passion, whatever it is. For you, it was the dance and teaching. You have those hats on, but then it's the boring administrative, dealing with the paperwork, dealing with the state of California, dealing with taxes, dealing with all this stuff,
Mhm.
this not fun stuff. That's not the reason you actually went into business. But so does sometimes the decisions you make influence your different, I guess, like I could say, like your hats, like your dancer hat wants to do something, but your business hat, your boss hat, admin says, well, it's great that you want this, whatever it is, more equipment, more music, more space, or anything like that. That's always, I think, a hard pull and push that I have too internally is my architect side wants me to do something. I want a new software program. And the business side of me is like, you don't have the money for that right now, or something like that. So do you ever experience that?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, one thing is always going to be impacting and influencing the other.
Hmm.
And like the way in which we move in our space and our community, and as well as like what we stand for, right?
Hmm.
Because, I feel like my focus group is particular.
Hmm.
Could I be doing other things and maybe making even the same or that much more? I think there's a lot of potential for that. But my focus is, like you said, like queer community,
Hmm.
alliance, bringing people together, letting people know that it's okay to disrupt the binary normalities of these
Hmm.
dances that we have. Salsa
Hmm.
and bachata is very like uh, binary. It's very like
Hmm.
man and woman.
Hmm.
The man is the lead and the woman is the follow, and this is the way it's done. And then if you go to some of these classes, the focus is just on the man because you know what I mean. They're the one that's
Hmm.
taking control. A woman has to look a certain way, a man has to look a certain way. But
Yeah.
we don't do that, nor are we catering to it.
Yeah.
And we're allowing our students to be flexible, to understand that they can switch the roles, they can be the lead, be the follow, no matter what society may say.
Hmm.
And we want our students to discover both. That's the only way that you can become a lot stronger. So, to answer the question, right, those are the
Hmm.
things that we're putting into perspective here, where, sadly, let's say, like, oh, right now it's me and my husband, my
Hmm.
partner, right? And we're both men teaching this partner
Hmm.
dance. Sadly, there are going to be scenarios, and I know it, where people are going to say, I don't want to learn from them because
Yeah.
it's two men. And sometimes it doesn't have to do anything with like homophobic like perceptions, rather
Hmm.
than like, well, I'm a woman and I want to look like a woman. What can I learn
Hmm.
from these two men? You know what I mean? Or like, I'm a man and I want to look like a man. What can I learn from these two queer men?
Hmm.
So it's like, it's funny though, because I think about it completely different, but
Definitely.
it
Definitely.
is what's ingrained in our society.
It is. Yeah.
So to answer your question, yes, I feel like sometimes we make our choices based off of, well, at least I do. I try to make my choices based off of my perception and my morality of
Mhm.
where I stand and how I respect this dance,
Mhm.
even though I think sometimes there are easier routes that one can take, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I think
Mhm.
that's beautiful that you do that too. And it never occurred to me. And when you and your husband, Princess, which you guys were amazing when you danced together, it was unbelievable. And it never occurred to me that you were both men. Like it never occurred to me. And then I went on your Instagram and I was looking through, and you have a fun reel where it's like, oh, well, if you don't want to see two men dancing, have three men dancing. It just never occurred to me. And maybe, I mean, obviously that's why we're having, we connected, we have this conversation. I'm not someone who would judge in that way. And so never occurred to me. It was just amazing to see you both dance. And I think because of the way the dancing and the salsa and the movement, and I think one thing I have to confess is I used to take salsa dancing classes in high school for like a year with my friend. And I would get continuously in trouble in my class because I would lead the men. And then my teacher's like, oh, you have to be led. You have to be led. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, but they're not very good at leading. Why can't I just lead?
That's
And
right.
so I would love to have gone to your classes back when I was in high school, because I would have been like, yeah, let me switch, because I would rather twirl someone around regardless of their gender, because I feel like more of a leader. I feel like more of the leader position. So I think it's really beautiful that you are changing the norms. And yes, you do have more of a niche market, but the fact that you are doing it with intention, you're doing it with heart, that's also why I think your business is so successful. People come to that energy, to that loving, positive energy. Nobody wants to be told off in their class that they're doing it wrong when, I'm sorry, I'm just here once a week to have fun, you
There
know?
you go. Mhm.
So I think what you're doing is really amazing.
I think that's key right there, is understanding like the type of people that come in and what they're interested in,
Yeah.
like, are they taking it as a hobby? Are they coming just for
Mhm.
fun? Is this their way to decompress from their everyday life,
Mhm.
And I think sometimes as dance instructors, sometimes we want something
Mhm.
and we want to pour our wants onto our community, you know?
Mhm.
And that's not fair, because what we're supposed to be doing is serving them and their needs and their wants. And I've
Mhm.
always said this from the beginning, is like, as long as my community is asking for it, I'm going to deliver it. The moment that my community is like, you know what, we're tired of this, we no longer want this, then I'm ready. We can pack our bags and move on with life. I've pulled jobs before. Just find another job is easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But as long as people are wanting it and needing it and feeling like it's adding to their life, like their everyday
Mhm.
lifestyle, then I'm here for it.
That's what we need right now too. And I think it's what we need right now. So I think you are just such a great example, business wise, dance wise, just even like when you've come to teach now. I think that's why so many of our salsa programs with AWA plus D and you coming to teach is like everyone's there to have fun, and
Mm.
you rotate us as partners. That's something I didn't even think about. You never separate us based off of our gender, based off of height, based off of anything. It's like we're always, going in a circle, everybody gets a new partner. And that, I think that makes it so much more fun, because then you'd kind of also get to shed that, like, whatever society thinks of you, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable, because we're not thinking about what society has taught us about gender or about norms or anything like that, sexual orientation. We're just there to have fun and to dance. And you really bring that out when you teach.
Thank you. It works. It's sometimes there's spaces like that space is perfect. I'm able to do what I do and not feel questioned or feel like
Mhm.
people are not in alignment. Sadly, that's not the case all the time, but I
Mhm.
still stick by my like where I stand and my moralities. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna mention where, but I went to this event and
Mhm.
one of my students came to me and was like, hey, I took this class, but the leader's he was the male, right? He was following
Mhm.
some leaders were just skipping him purposefully. Like they did not want to dance with him in that class,
Mhm.
And he told me that he disclosed and he said he had that experience in a few classes that weekend. So
Mhm.
when I taught, and then you know what? The first thing that I did was I got upset because I was like, was the teacher not watching? Like, did they not
Yeah.
say anything? Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
You know? But then I was like, okay, whatever, it's fine. So then when I went to go teach my class, when it was my hour for my class, I made an announcement right at the beginning of class. And I was like, look, everyone dances with everyone in the space, no matter how they look, no matter what we think. And if you're just not in alignment with that, you don't have to take this class. There's
Mhm.
plenty of other classes going on in different ballrooms right now. Go ahead and find another class to take because this is just not the one for you, you
Mhm.
know? And I stand by it. you
No,
know?
absolutely. No, it's a good foundation to have on and off the dance floor, I think,
Mhm.
too. And so I think that just goes to show what kind of a person you are. And again, it goes back to, I think, why your business has been so successful. There is something to say about like the energy of the people and everything. And you show that in your work and in your business. And so I do want to talk more about your dance academy and
Mhm.
share with the listeners. I have quite a few in California, LA area. So tell us more about your dance academy. I want to get the word out there about it.
Yeah, so we're Alliance Dance Academy. We're in the City of Commerce. We're right behind the Citadel. You can find us on Instagram at Alliance Dance _ Academy. We also have a website, alliancedanceacademy.net. It's super queer friendly, but it's open to all people in our community that are just in alignment with exactly what we just described today is just fluidity, flexibility, being open to switch dancing. We're coming in to not only share space and build community, but to learn how to dance, right? Because we do still push our students to learn the material and to grow as dancers while still building communities, while still having that open mindedness take place, right? So it's just a really beautiful, super beautiful space. We have classes available for all levels, starting from like the lowest level, beginner, to our intermediate, to our advanced students. And currently we're offering salsa, bachata, and cumbia classes on a weekly basis. So,
Hey, that's
yeah.
amazing. And you're competing, which is amazing. So do you compete then as your academy, like as a dance academy? That's your team you send out. How did you hear
Yeah.
about the New Jersey? I mean, that's so far away from California. Was that a big competition for you guys?
Yeah, it's huge. It's one of the most recognized
Wow,
competitions in the history of like salsa and bachata dancing. You know, there's a
amazing.
few out there, but when we're talking about like, I guess the United States or in the States, like
Hmm.
that is one of the big one that's super recognized and known worldwide. You know, it's a very
Wow,
international and like it's a huge competition. There's people coming from all
amazing.
over the place. Yeah. There's people
Oh my
from
gosh,
Colombia, from Italy, from Canada, from Mexico, so different many places from the world. It's just come together.
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And what was that like? What was that experience, that energy being at the competition, like with all these dancers from all over the world? Like that must have been so fun. Probably a little
Yeah.
like it's a little stressful because I know everybody's like in their zone probably before performance, but like that must have been such a great experience.
Yeah. Well, this is my second time going. The
Okay.
first time that I went, I mean, I have seen the videos and
Hmm.
watched a lot of like what goes on, but physically being in the space, this is my second time. And the first time I went was as a spectator.
Hmm.
And it was just so enjoyable to watch all of the amazing talent from all over
Hmm.
the world that we all kind of share the same art, you know?
Hmm.
But you can also feel the like the not necessarily tension, but the energy of competition. You know what I
Mm.
mean? We're
Yeah.
like, I'm here to win. I'm here to take home the trophy and be the best of the best, you know?
Yes. Yes.
And I am not like that. I'm the total opposite. I'm like, I do not, it's not that I don't care. I just, that's not
It's not you.
energy
Yeah.
here. It's not built in
Hmm.
me. Like it just
Hmm.
never was or has been. I've never
Hmm.
been in anything a competitive person. I'm super passive and I'm just
Okay.
like, let's go with the flow. Like
Got it.
art is about freedom of expression. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Mm.
Like, like that's the type of
Yeah.
person that I am. So my husband, he's a competitor. He's been competing
Mhm.
for years. I mean, since he started that's how he was kind of brought into it as a competitor. He has the last time I checked, he was like 13 world champion, but now it's more, a lot
Oh
more.
my gosh.
So he's talented. He's been in the game for a while. So he knows how it is, and he's been in competitions and like in a variety of different places in the world. But long story short, he was like, you should do it. And I was like, I don't think so. And he was like, you should do it. And I was like, I don't know. He's like, no, you're going to do it. And I was like, I'm a big
Wow.
believer on like, don't knock anything until you try it,
Yeah.
you know? Like I'll try anything, any foods, any places. Even if I think I'm not gonna like it, I try it. It's just
Mm.
like part of who I am. So I was like, well, I guess I can't say no, and if I'm gonna do it, who else to do it with than this like 13-time world champ pro? I mean, you
You're in
know,
good hands. You're in good
I'm in
hands.
good hands.
Oh man.
So I said, let's do it. Let's do it. And if I don't like it at the end of the day, I don't like it. Who
Yeah.
cares? I just
Yeah.
never do it again. But I went and I did it. And there was definitely a different sensation, like a
Mm.
different feeling. Again, like the first time I was spectating. So there was a lot more enjoyment, but still seeing. But as like a competitor, there was that same energy of tension of like, I want to be the best.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow, like, it also felt like everyone had an appreciation for everybody bringing in their best,
Mm.
you
I
know,
like that.
like seeing the interaction between artists. And maybe I
Mm-hmm.
totally misread it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe people were like neck to neck, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what I felt was it was like we were a community of people presenting like
Mm-hmm.
our craft and our art. And of course, receiving judgment from super known artists, but super talented people who have also been in the industry for like, they started it practically. But I don't know. It was weird. It was a feeling of like, we're all in this together, but we're also against each other, but we're
Mm-hmm.
also all in this together. You
Mm.
know what I mean?
Like, I respect you, but like, you're also my
Yeah,
competition.
yeah, it was really weird. It was a
Interesting.
weird feeling. I've never felt something like that. But then again, I've never been in competition with people because
Yeah.
I think I had a different judgment off of it, like a
Mm.
different perspective of what it means to be in competition, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Now I feel like it's the different understanding. What I thought it was is not
Mm-hmm.
really what it turns out to be, if that makes
Interesting.
sense.
It does. So
Yeah.
then, would you do it again?
Yeah, I would do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I look
Good.
forward to doing
Yeah.
it again. I think so. Yeah, I
Nice.
think I'll do it
Good.
again. Yeah.
Good. No, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
because my perspective of it shifted.
Mm-hmm.
I think at first I thought it was like too cutthroat and
Mm.
mean, and like I just didn't understand like how can you be so judgy over something that, you know what I mean? I thought I wouldn't. I thought I would be doing it for different intentions, and that's what I think mostly worried about.
Mm-hmm.
I was worried that if I did a competition, that my enjoyment of it would diminish and it would
Mm-hmm.
become more feeling like work and job and like trying to show up somebody. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Take the
let me show
passion out
them
of it.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me show them up because I think I'm better. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
Yeah.
that really wasn't it. That
Mm-hmm.
wasn't what it turned out to be. And
Yeah.
I didn't feel, I mean, obviously some people, yes, but I didn't feel that from the majority of artists there. Like I
Mm-hmm.
didn't see this like, I'm better than you, watch out type of
Yeah.
feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could have misread everything, but
Still, I'm glad you had a good
yeah,
experience. Yeah.
yeah, it was good.
No,
It's
that's
really good.
amazing. Well, Jayven, thank you so much for taking the time to come on From the Honeycomb podcast to share not only your passion about dance, to let us inside the world of what it's like to have your own dance studio, but then even now sharing with us what it's like to compete as a dancer. I have really enjoyed this conversation. I'm so glad we got to talk. And I'm looking forward to more dance classes with you with the AWA plus D and beyond. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, thank you so much.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It also allows me to take some time to reflect,
Mm.
from
Mm-hmm.
where I've started to where I'm at now. And, sometimes we don't give ourselves, like, I bet you do the same, right? Sometimes we don't give ourselves that time to really acknowledge our success.
No, because you're so
So,
into it day to day. And sometimes it's like, yep, I definitely agree with you on that.
mhm. Yeah. So moments like these are like, like conversations like these are really nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just add more fuel.
You add more fuel to the passion to keep the business going,
Yeah.
doors open, and keep doing what you love.
Make it happen.
Make it happen. Absolutely. Well, Jayven, I'll provide links in the show notes for your dance academy. Is there anywhere else followers can or listeners can follow you?
That's primarily it. We do most of our postings on Instagram and on our website. Eventually, I want to start getting into the world of YouTube and TikTok. It's just a lot
It
of
is a
work.
lot. It's a
It's
lot.
a lot of
Yeah,
work.
you're preaching to me. It's a lot of work. I get it. I get it.
But when we
Yeah.
get there, we get there. I hope we can,
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We'll chat soon.
Yes. Thank you for spending this time with me on From the Honeycomb podcast. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to rate, review, and share it with someone who's building something of their own. To stay connected, follow along on Instagram at From the Honeycomb podcast. You can also support the show through the Patreon link in the show notes. It really truly does help keep these conversations going. And if you want more behind-the-scenes insight, reflections, and tools for running a mindful and successful architecture business, be sure to subscribe to my monthly newsletter. All links are in the show notes. Thank you so much for listening, and as always, stay curious.